This is the Superstore exploratory data analysis project. The objective of this project is to analyze the dataset that is given to us and to find out the weak areas on which work could be done to improve the profits of the company. Let's begin with trying to understand the dataset, the given dataset. So it contains 13 columns and 9,994 rows. And let's try to understand the 13 columns in more details. Let's try to understand what kind of informations are given within these 13 columns. So we have 6 columns which gives us geographical information like the country, region, state, city and postal code. Then we have 3 columns that gives us information about the customer and the product. So we have the segment column which gives us information regarding the type of customer. Then we have the category and subcategory which tells us about the product category and the product subcategory. Then we have 4 columns that gives us sales and profit information. The sales, discount, profit and quantity columns gives us the following information. And finally we have 1 column which gives us the shipping mode. The shipping mode that was used to ship the products. So that is briefly the structure of the dataset, the different columns of the dataset. So we'll first begin with the geographical analysis. Now let's first start with the regions. So before regions, I just want to clarify that this data only belongs to United States. So there is only one country we have right here, the United States. And now let's come to regions. So the country is divided into 4 regions: east, west, south and central. And from this graph we can see that the central region has the least amount of profits compared to the others, followed by south, east and finally west, which has the most profits. Now if you look here, is that the western region has made nearly 2.5 times more profit than the central region. So you can see that the central region, there's much scope for growth in the central region. So the takeaway from this analysis would be that to focus more on the central region as there is more opportunity for growth, for making more profits in that region. Now coming to the states. So in the data set we have information about 49 states. Out of the 49 states, 10 states have negative profits. That means 10 states are loss-making states. So you can see that these are the 10 states. Out of that you can see that Texas has by far the highest number of losses. So yes, so from an analysis point of view, the takeaway would be that before trying to improve the profits of the other 39 states which are already making some profits, the first concern should be trying to focus on these 10 states and try to convert these states into profit-making states before focusing on the other states which are already making profits and trying to increase their profits. So the first step would be to try to convert these 10 states which are making losses to profit-making states. Now coming to the cities. So what we have here is that there are 531 cities in this data set where the company operates and sells its items, its various products. So out of the 531 cities, 138 cities are loss-making cities, which means that 22.8% of the cities are loss-making. You can say it's almost 1/4, not exactly 1/4, but almost nearly 1/4. So again, the plan of action will be same as the state. Before, the first objective would be to try to convert this 138 or 22.8% of these loss-making cities to convert them into profit-making cities. That will be the first step. And once you do this, then try and focus, try to increase the profits of the already profit-making company of cities. The alternate way would be to think that since these cities are already making quite a high amount of losses, like the cities of Philadelphia, Houston, and San Antonio and such, since these cities are already making huge losses, the other thing that the company can do is shut down operations in this country, in those kind of cities, and instead put all their efforts in trying to maximize the profits in the existing cities only, the cities where they are already making more profits, and try to put on more resources in improving the profits of those cities even further, instead of trying to put on their resources in cities like Philadelphia and Houston. So just completely shut down your operations in these cities and just focus on only on the profit-making cities. That would be another plan of action. So it depends on the management. Now let's go to we'll analyze the data from a different perspective, from the point of view of customer segment, product category and subcategory. So here we have three segments of customers: home office, corporate, and consumer. So these are the three customer segments. Then you have three categories of products that the company is selling. There's furniture, office supplies, and technology. And we have a total of 17 subcategories, of which four of the subcategories of which the furniture category has 4 subcategories, the office supply category has 9 subcategories, and the technology category has 4 subcategories. So that's what you can see in this presentation. So now if you look at the total profit by segment, you can see that the largest profit, the highest profit, comes from the consumer segment. So this segment has the highest amount of profit, the lowest from the home office. So the takeaway from this analysis would be that the company can focus on improving their profits in the home office segment because it's the least profit making out of the three. But another thing to consider would be that home office is a very niche area. So it might be that there is the scope for growth in this area is very less as compared to the consumer or the corporate segment, because home office is a very niche area, I think so. So there may not be much opportunities for growth in this area. So that has to be kept in consideration, kept in mind while making the decisions. Now I move to profit by category. So we mentioned that there are 3 categories: furniture, office supplies, and technology. And from this graph, you can see that clearly the profits that are earned from the furniture category is lagging far behind the other 2 categories. So it's very clear that the company must focus on improving the profits in the furniture category, because it's very less. It looks very less. Almost the next highest, office supplies, is almost 2, 3. It's 4 times. The profit is 4 times more, or actually more than 4 times, and the highest is nearly 5 times more than furniture. So they have to they can put on their efforts in improving the profits in the furniture category. And lastly, we move on to the analysis of profits by subcategory. Okay, so these are the 17 subcategories, and you can see that out of the 17, 3 are loss making. Again, previously we mentioned here in the last slide that furniture category is lagging behind very much in terms of profit as compared to the other 2 categories. So even if you look at the 3 loss making subcategories, the two most loss making categories, tables and bookcases, these are part of the furniture category. So tables and bookcases are part of the furniture category. You can see here, this is the furniture category, and tables and bookcases are the subcategories of the furniture category. So the takeaway here is that in this here is that again they must focus on improving, converting these loss-making subcategories into profit-making subcategories, specifically the tables and bookcases, because again furniture as this category as a whole is making very less profits, and even within these categories, the 4 subcategories, 2 of them are loss-making. So certainly they have to clearly they have to focus more on improving the converting these 2 loss-making subcategories into profit-making categories. So that's the takeaway from this analysis. And finally, we have the third subcategory, which is loss-making, which is the supplies subcategory within the office supplies category. So yes, work has to be done on this area as well. So that was my analysis of this data set, and this analysis was done using Python, and all the analysis and the visualization were done using Python code, and this code can be found in this GitHub repository.